If you're interested in making a ton of gold and also collecting a handful of trophy pieces, then this video is for you. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a few different routes I take in order to collect trophy pieces just like this on a day-by-day basis. I follow these routes multiple times a day and I gather a ton of gold just from doing these routes, collecting these trophy pieces, and selling them on the trading post. Before jumping into the specific routes, I do want to call out that when I do these, I do utilize a full luck set. It does make taking down the mobs a little bit more difficult, but I do find a little bit more of a success rate actually getting trophy pieces while looting these chests with luck. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first one. The very first route I follow is in Ebonscale Reach, and to be more specific, I start at the Pilgrims Rest Way Shrine. So I teleport over here and then I directly move down this hill and make a quick jump, and I will already be at the very first location, which is this castle-like area right here. What's great is that this area is actually super close to this teleport location, and there's 3 potential chests that could have some trophy pieces right away. So honestly, if you're a little bit lazy and just want to get straight to the chests, you could just do these 3 and then pop an OPR or do something else and then come back after a little bit of time, because again, these supply stockpiles are not limited to once a day. You can actually do these multiple times a day, unlike the elite chests. So keep that in mind too. That just tells you that you can actually run these different routes I'm showcasing in this video more than one time a day to up your chances of picking up some trophy pieces. So as you can tell, it's great, right? We already looted the second supply stockpile, and there's actually a third right here. So 1, 2, 3, super close to the teleport shrine and very convenient for you. And it's definitely worth picking these up a few times a day if you can remember to, especially if you are trying to pick up some easy gold and potentially upgrading your trophies. So the first 3 I did not have any luck in. Again, it's luck of the draw when it comes to these things. Even if you run full luck, you may not actually have all the luck in the world to pick up these pieces. The next area is still in Ebonscale Reach. I actually follow the path and move east. You can see where I am on the map here. There's a bunch of silkweed, so if you are a harvester and you just want to pick up some silk threads, go ahead and pick that up and then move into this first house here. We're going to go ahead and move up these stairs, and there is a named enemy. Again, these guys are not super difficult. I'm running a bit of a iffy build here anyways, just because I'm in a bunch of luck gear. But take down these mobs and the named enemy, and you can loot this next supply stockpile for a shot at, yet again, another trophy piece. Next up, we are jumping out of this house and moving right over here. There are some named enemies and some more mobs in here. I'm cutting through this house here just to get into this one. You'll see right there, that's Penny. That's another named enemy. There's a handful of mobs, but again, just bring out your weapon and you should not have a huge issue taking these guys down. And that's the great thing about this, right? You can go as fast or as slow as you want, and you can do this completely alone, so you don't have to wait for a chest run or something like that. You can really go your own pace and do this multiple times a day just to get some work in and potentially make some easy gold. So again, yet again, another named enemy. We're going to go ahead and destroy him. He does pack a little bit of a punch and has a lot of crowd control abilities, but he's not that difficult to take down. And then once you do, you can go ahead and loot the second supply stockpile in this area. So we got that. We're going to go ahead and jump off this building and jump back on our mount, pick up some just free herbs here, and move over to this ship icon over there. So I'm jumping on my mount and I'm moving my way towards that direction. Again, it's easy to remember too. We had 3 in the first area and 3 in this area as well. And again, you're just going to have to do some fighting when it comes to these mobs, but I am showcasing the exact route I follow on the screen. So feel free to open this on the monitor next to your game if you have to, just to follow along. But what you're really trying to get to is this little house right along the water, where there's going to be a handful of more named enemies, of course, and another supply stockpile chest. So we're going to go ahead and just destroy these. Again, I'm in pure luck here. It is not optimal for fighting, regardless if it's PvE or PvP. So it is taking me a little bit longer than expected, but I can still defeat these with no problems. So I defeated this, and I'm going to go ahead and, oh, look at that. These named enemies actually can drop some legendary items. Not super great, but essentially it's free dark matter, so you might as well take them down and salvage them for the free items. So that is the last stockpile in this area, and now we're going to go north at the Misty Shrine location right here for the last area in Ebonscale to complete this first route. So again, there is going to be some fighting here, as I mentioned in the first few areas, but it's not difficult. After you do this route a few times, it's going to be secondhand nature, and you won't have any issues, honestly, remembering exactly where you have to go. Plus, it's a lot faster for all of you guys that are returning to New World, because we do have mounts now, so you don't have to walk through this swampy water and things like that that might slow you down. I do recommend also picking up all of these resources you come across, just because it might actually add up over time if you do this route multiple times a day, because you can just sell it right on the trading post for some easy gold. And just like before, you do have some mobs you have to take down. If you find yourself struggling taking down these mobs solo, consider utilizing the infused corrupted coatings, which increases your overall damage to corrupted enemies, which is just all of these that you're actually coming across in this trophy route. So we got this first trophy in this last area here in Ebonscale, and we are going to move on to the next one. I'm going to go ahead and just show you a live view of where you go after this. We're moving up this trail, and I just like to jump along this ship right here to try to avoid aggroing any more mobs than I need to. And I'll get to this area right here, which has yet again another supply stockpile. And again, we really are focusing on these supply stockpiles when it comes to trophy pieces. They do tend to have the best chance of actually getting them, which is great. And they also can be looted multiple times a day, unlike the elite chests that you typically come across in chest runs. And now there's one more area near this this ship location here, which is right over that bridge. And I do recommend running this only when you are having a hard time finding like a chest run, or you just want to kill some time as a solo player, because it is pretty cost effective and you can actually make a ton of gold this way. Plus, it's entirely in your hands, right? You don't have to rely on having a large group to actually run these different routes that I'm showcasing. So after you take down these mobs, you will find yet again another supply stockpile for you to loot, and hopefully get some luck when it comes to trophy pieces. I typically run this route multiple times a day, and I actually get 1 or 2 pieces every like 4 or 5 routes. And again, it might just be based on luck. Sometimes you'll be lucky, sometimes you won't. Some days I get like 4 or 5 trophy pieces even. And now we're moving on to the next route, which honestly I run even more than that previous Ebonscale one, and have found the most luck when it comes to trophy hunting. I do recommend throwing a camp down as well, because it can get a little dangerous in there. But just to show you exactly where we are in Shattered Mountain, and focusing on these different fort icons here. Each of these forts have at least one supply stockpile in them, and it's pretty easy and straightforward to actually get to them. So I'm showing you the route here. Typically, I always go to this right corner here, jump up the stairs, and if I can actually jump up, move my way over here. Right off the bat, there is a elite supply chest too that you can loot. I actually already did this route earlier today, so I can't pick that up. And there's also a provision stockpile chest right there, which is just easy chance at recipes. You're going to just go ahead and ignore these mobs and just continue along this back pathway until you reach the back of this house. You're going to enter the house, and upstairs there's going to always be a large chest across all of these forts that you come across. Right here would be a elite supply stockpile. Again, I already looted it, but I did want to showcase that so you guys are aware of what we actually are working with here. So now we're moving up, And there's going to be more mobs, of course, and some smaller chests. If you want to loot those, feel free to. You can get some easy items just to kind of sell. And when you get to this area, I do recommend taking a second and just taking down these mobs, and then you can safely loot this last supply stockpile. Oh, there you go. I got a surveyor's tools, which is a trophy piece. So I did not even realize I was going to hit this one, but there you go. That's easy gold if I wanted to utilize it on the trading post, or even if I want to use it for myself to get a upgraded mining trophy. But that really is the goal of these forts, right? We are focusing entirely on these larger chests for a shot at these trophy pieces. And we now know that it definitely is possible. I just showed you right on the screen that I got one from this first video recording of it. And again, tons of reagents just from crafting these smaller chests. But we're just following the same exact route I just showed you. Different fort, same route. We're moving this back corner, and we're moving onwards to this back house, where we will then go upstairs, and there will be a larger chest. It looks like someone's actually already here too, and it'll just take you a second to take down these mobs, and then you can loot these chests. There's two here. One of them is an elite chest, so that is once a day, but there are some stockpiles in there that you can actually loot multiple times a day. So after that, we are going to leave the house and once again, move it in this corner right here. And to be honest with you guys, this route is actually my favorite. I like hitting these Shattered Mountain forts the most because they're very straightforward. You can actually multitask as you do them. You can watch TV or something. You just have to stay alert because there are going to be a handful of mobs out there. You can handle these solo. It's easier if you grab some friends from your company or anything like that, just to take care of them a little bit easier so you can jump on these stockpiles a lot faster. So there we go. Some legendary items. Even if I don't like them, I can just go ahead and salvage them for some easy dark matter. Move on my way. I'll go ahead and just pick this up for some more freebies, and then I'll jump down and move on to the third and final fort of this location, which is just up the trail right here. So here we go. This last fort is actually a little bit different, but I will showcase the exact houses you want to go into, which is this one right here. You go upstairs and you've got a few mobs. I'm not going to show it, but just clear them out and jump right on the supply stockpile for yet again another chance at a trophy piece. So we're jumping down and we are continuing the path. And what's nice about this path is that there's just some easy chests along the way. So we're going to go ahead and loot those, pick up some easy raw resources as well, and move on to this next house, which has the last stockpile that I did want to highlight in this video. So we're entering this house to the right here. Typically there's a named enemy, but it looks like someone defeated it, making my life a whole lot easier too, so I can get straight to the chest. And that really covers this route. There is one other quick route I did want to highlight that actually touches upon that first Ebonscale route I touched on, but it is a little bit iffy in regards to whether or not you can access it quickly, because there's a little bit of an activity you have to do before you can quickly jump in. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Literally, there we go. So as I mentioned before, this first route at Pilgrims Rest, there is a teleport location right here. In order to actually unlock this teleport location, I believe you have to actually manually climb up this tower in Ebonscale Reach. It might be associated with the main story quest, or it might be a side quest. Let me know in the comments below if you're actually having a hard time getting up here and we can help you out. But there is a nice named enemy right at the top that does drop some decent items. So when you teleport, it's worth taking him down quickly, picking up that loot, and then following the route along this bridge here for some very easy chests. So right away we have a provisions crate, which also means a chance at a high quality recipe. And then right away we have a supply stockpile. So it's very easy to get to this one. So I did want to kind of call it out because it's just worth picking up because it's so close to a teleport location. Keep following this path and you're going to come across more of these smaller chests, which, hey, if you want to pick them up for some easy gold that'll pile up over time, feel free. If you're really just hyper focused on trophy pieces, then you can just ignore it and move forward. So there is a few nooks and crannies in here in regards to additional supply stockpiles that you can pick up. But the last one I did want to call out is right in this location here, because there's a handful of chests that are just easy and straightforward to get to. So it's worth just going out of your way quickly and looting them. So as you continue to turn this corner, there's going to be a few mobs and then eventually another named enemy. And as you can see, there's tons of chests there. I'm just going to go ahead and speed things along. After you defeat the mobs, you'll get access to these different chests. So I'm going to go ahead and loot this supply stockpile. No luck there. I'm going to go ahead and loot this for a chance at a recipe. And then there's also a third smaller chest right in this corner. And that really covers it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and gained some value from it. If you did, please let me know in the comments below if you had any luck with this route and if you actually gathered some trophy pieces, or if you even have your own route. But long story short, thank you guys again for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And if this is something that you enjoy watching, consider subscribing for more New World Aeternum content. Thanks again, and I'll catch you guys later.